Hi, I'm here with Jay and Dragos, two legends from Olympia Handball Club, and I'm going to ask them a few questions. The first one is, which year did you join the team?
I've joined the team in February 2006, a few months after the team started.
And I turned up in 2007.
A bit later than him.
Yeah, a few months later. Copycat.
Which roles you had with the team and which one you enjoyed more?
Well, obviously started as a player, like I said, in 2006. After a few years, I became team captain. I don't know if that counts as a role or not. I've also been chairman of the club for 1 year, during, I would say, a little bit of a difficult period for the club. I think it was around 2010. And then luckily some people with real chairman skills took over, so I just reverted back to being a team captain and a player, and until I had to stop.
Mm-hmm.
As for me, I was usually the guy who was trying to help with the atmosphere in the club and the ambience and the social life, and taking the guys to evenings and stuff. But apart from that, I also had the privilege to be a secretary for 1 year, and that was tough. That was the same time when Dragos was the chairman, but that was very difficult. That's why I'm always respecting the secretaries since then. But yeah, it was a good time, but a difficult time at the time. But as Dragos touched on, we had a new chairman, and we'll come to this a bit later. And he took over and he organized the team in a better fashion. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And probably the most you enjoyed is as a player.
Yeah, for me, definitely, I did enjoy it as a player. Of course, not that I didn't enjoy being a chairman. I knew it was someone had to do it. It was a difficult period for the club. The problem is being a chairman takes a lot of your time outside the handball, which unfortunately I didn't have a lot at the time. You know.
Yeah, being the player you mentioned, I would say I've never been a good player, but that's the beauty of the club. Even though I wasn't the best player, but there was still a place for everybody in the team, and that's still the case, I think.
Yeah. Why you decided to end your career as a player?
Well, it was an easy decision to make. It was in 2012. First of all, I'm feeling old. I'm old at the time, and see all these young kids coming along with the Olympic Games in London, and the attraction and the excitement that was around handball and all sports, I guess, at the time. And the training was full of people, young kids running like rabbits, and I say that's enough. You know, the club is in good hands. I can chill and become a supporter.
Yeah,
but don't get me wrong, I still miss it badly. When I see you guys go to changing room, there's something missing, but it's still nice as well to come and watch it. Yeah. And you?
Well, I did stop playing at some point. I think it was around 2013. Same thing, a bit of a mixture of personal reasons, and then some back problems, and obviously not being able to be as committed as possible. But picking up on what Jay said, I've been away for a couple of years, and then I've registered again, and I've tried to make it to as many games as possible, and then again came another period of about a year then where I couldn't make it, you know, in between sort of half a season and then half a season. I think my last official game was in 2016, I think, in the first part of the season. But there's a bit of a breaking news here because of the demand of my numerous fans all over the country. I've decided to register again this season, and one of the main reasons was a conversation I had with Jay during your game against Nottingham, when we're actually talking about missing being a player, missing being in the changing room, missing the atmosphere. So I just decided to register only for the second team this year. And
so you're playing?
So yeah, my registration came through last week, and I do have my registration number. Hopefully, if I do get the time to join the second team for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it will give me the greatest pleasure ever.
Only second team?
Well, I think the registration says there's a Premier League. I have a Premier League registration, but I doubt it I'll be able to join you guys for games.
Well, so yeah, you are always
I'll probably just stick to the second team, and if I get to play 5 minutes, I definitely miss being with the guys in the changing room, miss that atmosphere before the games, obviously miss scoring goals and
Amazing.
winning
Good
games. So
news.
it's like in a way Handball and Olympia in particular is like a drug. It's difficult to stay away from it. So as long as I can still run a bit, I'll probably just keep registering and turning up now and then. But
Bravo.
I'm not registering yet.
What about you? Are you going to do the same?
yeah, hopefully Jay will follow the example.
I mean, they start
Really start at 13, man.
one day if they start the over 60s, maybe I'll think about it. Yeah.
Good. In which year the team was established? And at that time, it was just a woman team, men team, or mixed?
Dragos, you want to go for that?
Yeah, I mean, the team was created in, as far as I remember, in September 2005. It was the idea of a few ex-handball players from Romania who sort of got to know each other here. I think a few of them knew each other from Romania. So they met up and they decided to put the basis of a handball team.
That's why it's black and yellow, the colors.
No. Initially, I don't even think initially we didn't really have any colors, to be honest with you. I remember our first t-shirts we bought from Decathlon, and they were just some plain red and plain blue t-shirts, and those were the first ones we've used to play. So yeah, like I said, the team started at the initiative of of a few ex-handball players from Romania. It started as a Romanian team. That was the idea behind it initially, and it started as a men team only. I think the girls team was created in 2008, if I'm not wrong, because women's handball in England, I mean, men's wasn't big anyway, but women's handball was pretty much in existence at that time. So like I said, yeah, it started as a Romanian thing. It was a little bit of word of mouth at the time, so people talking to each other, not a lot of things in the newspapers or online and everything. I mean, I found out about a handball team. I was playing football with some friends in the park, and I told them I can't stay for the beer after because I wanted to go home and watch some handball. I think one of our handball teams were playing in Champions League, and one of them said, "Oh, do you like handball?" I said, "Yeah, of course." And he told, "Do you know there's a handball team?" And basically that's how I found out.
But that guy was a player?
No, he wasn't a player. He knew a guy that played. He used to know Liviu, who used to be one of our goalkeeper. Yeah, and he's been with the club for quite a few years. So I got in contact with him, and I joined the first training, which the team used to train in Wapping at the time in East London. It was just a training, one single training a week on a Sunday morning. And over the years, like I said, the girls team I think started around 2008, and since then I think we can say we've been a mixed club, and
All right.
up to today, and hopefully for many years to come.
Wow.
That's actually one of my best memory when Olympia beat Grey Dane in the final of as a women team. That was one of my best moments. We had the guys dancing on the side, literally, Didier and because we actually went to extra time and then smashed it in extra time. So that was one of the greatest memory of the club for me. Yeah, amongst other ones, but we can talk about them a bit later.
Jay, I know you're gonna like this one. What's your best memories with the team?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm quite enthusiastic about the memories which I have. First of all, I was at a stage in my life where I was spending a lot of time at football, but watching football. West Ham, I was going to West Ham Football Club watching games, and I was getting a bit bored, and so I joined the handball club, and since then the memories have been great. I mentioned already the girl winning the cup against Grey Dane, our bitter rivals, the one we really like to beat. As a player, we never beat those, right? We always lost few times, at least by one goal, 3 or 4 times. So when you guys, without me, finally beat them, that was one of the best memory, beating your rivals. And going to Challenge Cup, that was amazing. I've got a great weekend with Dragos twice. We've been to Challenge Cup and scoring goals in Challenge Cup.
Where did you go in that Challenge Cup?
I've been to Berane in Montenegro once, and in Croatia,
To Buzet.
Buzet.
Buzet in Croatia.
Buzet. And people in the village and the street were like, spending all the time they could with us all day long, following us everywhere. That was amazing. Amazing times out there. So that are the great memories. But apart from the memory, which I really, rank very high, is the friendship I made along the way. Some great friends and I still have them.
Yeah, it's the easiest way to make friends, no? To play in a club and see people every week. Yeah. And I was about to ask you, did you play handball in France before, or you started here?
I had played, but because I was so good, I didn't make the good teams. But I played at school. That was I played at school. That's it. Yeah,
Cool.
the school level. I was alright at school, but never made it professional, like to the good clubs, basically. No, but everybody knows that. It's not a secret.
You're
What
underestimating yourself.
About you?
Yeah, like Jay said, there's so many great memories over the years. Obviously, it's been coming to 12 years. And yeah, great moments. The Challenge Cup for me, both of them, both Montenegro and Buzet, as an experience as a handball player, even though obviously the level was the difference in level was huge. I mean, we played against professional teams. We played against in Montenegro. We played against a team from Portugal. They had their own nutritionist, and they had a couple of physios, and everything was written down as to what they need to do on a daily basis. When for us, we
So
basically
we practiced well the night before.
we practiced well. We used to practice really well the night before. That was our practice for the game, and you know, we've done that in both Montenegro and Croatia, because for us it was not just a handball experience. It was a group experience as well, and I think around those times a term that is used a lot today started coming up, and that is a term that I'm really proud of, and I'm also proud that maybe I was part of. I was part of it. I am, and I'll probably still be part of it for as long as I'll be around. Which is the family. Everybody refers. Very few people say Olympia team, Olympia Handball Club. They all say Olympia family. And if there's one thing about this team, I think it was always the bond between players. Not necessarily at trainings and at games, but off the pitch as well. There was, you know, always there to help each other, always there to give a helping hand. Being with a job, being with an advice, being with, you name it. I don't think someone that has been with our club has asked for help, and no one sort of put a hand up and I said, yes, I'll do it. Apart from that, like Jay said, the first win against Great Dane, I was still registered and playing at the time. I would say, obviously, unfortunate for me, but luckily for the club maybe, because like Jay was saying, maybe we were the bad luck. I was away on holiday. And it was a brilliant news. I remember I was talking to Thomas, who still plays now, obviously, and he sent me a text and he said we won, and honestly I couldn't believe it. It was a great experience. Obviously, the girls winning the cup, because obviously that's and the championship, of course, because it doesn't matter if it's the men or the women. You know, they're really for the club, and the club is there in first position. So yeah, that's great. And like Jay said, it's not just a memory, it's probably a great achievement to have so many friends and still have them now, and still keep in touch with people that we haven't seen for years, like Mohawk. He's in New York, and you know, we still keep in touch and we still talk to him now and then, and yeah, it's great. Yeah, that's
And regarding what you say about the girls winning the cup, do you see the men's team doing it any closer this year?
Obviously the club was really close. I don't know about a cup, obviously about a championship. The club was really close last year. I mean, we're talking about 1 goal or 2 goals difference. I mean, it's
1 goal.
1 goal. I mean, obviously that was extremely painful. Obviously this is the system, you know what I mean? You beat Great Dane twice last season, and you know, you still managed to somehow finish equal on points with them and 1 goal behind. I mean, obviously, there's still many things to change in handball, but maybe this will be one where direct results should matter. But yeah, that was great. I mean, Olympia, you're talking about the cup. Olympia is a club, men's club. I'm talking about. We don't really have a good experience with the cup. I mean, I remember, and you've asked me about good memories. There's a bad memory as well. But a bad memory, I would say. Yeah, you could say it's a bad memory about the cup. Is we played a semi-final against Manchester, and I remember at half-time, I think we were like 9 or 10 goals down, and second half we came back, we played brilliantly, and I think there were about 10 or 15 seconds left. We were 1 goal ahead. I play as a right wing, so I've gone in as a second line, and Remy, a guy who used to play for us, passed me the ball, and literally I could have done anything with that ball. I could have thrown it out, I could have put it under my shirt, I could have done anything. I've turned and I took a serious shot, unfortunately I missed. Goalkeeper sort of kept it out with his foot. He ended up with one of their players, fast attack. They equalized, and we lost in extra time. So
Painful.
for me, that's something that it probably happened. I think around
Unforgivable.
around 2010. I think that happened 2010 or 2011. Yeah, it is. It's something
you're
that
not over it.
I would always remember.
You're not
and
over
it's-
that. You're not over
and
that.
and not over that. That would have been obviously. I think that was the closest we've been in the cup in that semi-final. But hopefully, like I said, hopefully that was a semi-final. Yeah.
Closest.
So I don't remember the men doing any better than that. Hopefully this year. I mean, obviously you guys played Liverpool last weekend and you won, and congratulations for that. And I think I've seen the draw today. You're gonna play Nemhawks.
Nemhawks, yeah,
So
away.
obviously it's an away game, but you've already beat them once this season. So hopefully.
And what about the league? What's the best result you had?
The best result, same thing. The best result, it was
Second.
similar to last year. Yeah, it was
Alright.
second. We weren't obviously as close as you guys. I think we were a point behind, and then I think we finished third twice.
Do you
Yeah.
remember the year of that?
2009,
Honestly, I
10,
think
11.
in 9, 10, and 11. I think so. 2009 we finished third. 2010 we finished second, and 2011 I think we finished third again. Because I think that's from then they started allowing the third team to go into Challenge Cup as well, because they've allowed the first team to join EHF, I think. Yeah.
So talking about the women's team, what they achieved so far in the last years?
You want to go over the fact? Dragos?
Yeah, I mean, obviously try to go over the facts. The girls obviously over the years done better than the boys because they've actually won the championship a few times, two or three times if I
You're so
remember
jealous, by
correctly.
the way.
Yeah, it's not about jealousy. Fair play to the girls.
No, we're not,
they
not.
played well, and they've actually done the double in one year, and they've won the cup and the championship. And they played in AHF and Challenge Cup, and I think they went to Portugal in 2011, and then they went to Iceland in 2014. 2015, if I'm not wrong, they've gone to Ukraine, and I have a feeling you were a fan on that trip, Jay.
Yeah, I was
and
there.
2016, actually a great achievement for the club, because even after the men went to Montenegro and went to Croatia, and obviously after following the girls' visits to Portugal and Iceland and Ukraine, during these trips, apart from playing the handball and doing a bit of sightseeing, you actually see how professional clubs work, how they're organized, what's involved. You see the backroom staff, you see the effort that they put in, you see the amount of work that goes into it. And I think every trip that we've made, either being a men's team or a women's team, we've always tried to learn something from it, and we've always tried to better the club.
Okay, and can I interrupt you for a second? Saying that about this professional way of playing of these teams, do you see Olympia that can achieve that level within the next years?
I think slowly Olympia is trying to move in the right direction, and obviously if we look at where Olympia was in 2006, 2007, 8 and 9, when we used to train once a week, and we used to rely solely on the money that the players used to play, you know what I mean? And you look at where the club is now, and the fact that you can bring in 2 or 3 sponsors, and there's media coverage, and there's article on the newspapers, and there's things on TV. There's actually there's actually
we were in the
there's actually stuff that's been written about the club in Romania, for example. I mean, I had a couple of interviews in a few newspapers and one on TV. Well, I'm sure there was others in other countries, and the girls' team was mentioned in Romanian newspapers when they won the double. So yeah, definitely, I think slowly we are moving towards that goal of being professional. Obviously, we're not there yet. I think the first step we need to try and achieve is to try and reach maybe a semi-professional level, where you bring in enough sponsors and enough support to become a little bit self-sufficient sort of thing, so you don't need to rely on the players so much, and maybe offer some incentives. And I think reaching the semi-professional level will be the first step. Obviously, I don't want to sound negative, but I think handball in England, it's compared to the rest of Europe, and why not the rest of the world in the country where it's quite popular. There's still quite a bit of work to be done. So yeah, I think the next step for Indian handball will be semi-professional. But yeah, going back to the girls, yeah, they done great, and the last one I forgot to mention was again a great achievement for British handball in general, which was to host a Challenge Cup game, an EHF game. An EHF Cup game, and I think that was held in Medway Hall, just outside London. So yeah, again, a great achievement for the club, and why not for British handball.
Okay. You wanna comment?
Oh, definitely. I always got something to say. But I actually went to Portugal with the girls. I was lucky to even share the room with the coach at the time, Mohamed. Yeah. So it was quite annoying actually, because I wanted to go out with the boys drinking. You know, the men's team that the girls was playing against, they invited me for a couple of glasses of lemonade that night. And Mohamed was saying, don't come back too late, because he wanted to sleep nicely. But apart from that, I remember that watching those two games. Yeah, they did lose the game, which was at the time expected.
Yeah.
But still a great effort at the time. It was a great atmosphere for the game. For the girls, it was the first time, I believe, in Europe. So
Portugal was.
Yeah,
Portugal
they loved it. They loved it. And I didn't go to Iceland because I can't remember why I couldn't go to Iceland. But I went again to Ukraine, and this time we went as a surprise. We three of us from the team: Thomas, Matt, and myself. We went. We flew. We had to fly from a different airport because they were flying from an airport in Slovakia called Košice. Is that right? Yeah, Košice.
Yeah.
And we couldn't because there was only one flight a day, and the boys wanted to make the surprise and just turn up at the game. So we had to fly to, I think, Bratislava, and took the train all day long, basically, literally all day long, and then take the taxi the night before to watch the game. But when we arrived, we can see the emotion from the girl was quite tangible. And this is what's happening. We have a great bond between the girls and the boys, and they love each other, and we love each other, and the support is huge. And I think we haven't seen that in any other club in the UK. What we have, I think, is quite special. Yeah.
Right, Olympia family, no?
That's
Oh
right.
yeah,
Again.
definitely.
And I didn't go into detail about Ukraine, but to touch a little bit on this, it was a great atmosphere there in Ukraine. It was like a great food, great restaurant. There was like on the last night we had a little not party but celebration of the weekend, and there was in the hotel there was like a birthday party of some sort, or I don't know, some sort of a kid was born. You know how you call it when you bless the kid? Yeah.
Oh yeah, like christening.
Christening, that's it. And I think we had a collection. We put the money to the parents, and they start coming crying to us. All local people were amazing. So that was another great family experience. That's it.
Sounds very good.
Yeah, it was.
So what do you think is going to be the future of the team, of the club, and the juniors team? How do you do to bring more kids to play in the team and all that?
Yeah, obviously the juniors, it's a good subject to talk about, because to have a future of handball in England, you need to get the kids in this country to actually learn to love the game, basically, because it's let's be honest, it's not really popular. Obviously, its popularity has grown a lot since the Olympics. But if you look in the league, even now, even to today, the vast majority of the players come from abroad, from the continent, and from other countries where handball is quite popular. But I think the federation done a great thing. I think it was about 2 or 3 years ago when the Premier League idea, or the Super 8 at that time, idea came up, where every club was basically had to have a juniors team.
It was mandatory to have.
Was mandatory to have it to be able to join the Super 8, and I think that is great because obviously you bring the sport out to the kids. You know, okay, it's not as popular as football or cricket or rugby in this country, but slowly it's gaining its popularity. And obviously for our club, Didi, who used to be our chairman until a couple of months ago, she's done a brilliant job of starting the team and getting the kids, and you know, she actually, you know, not just managed the juniors team and the club, she actually trained them as well, and that was great. I mean, if we look in a few years back, I think around 2010-11, we used to train in Crystal Palace, and our chairman at the time, Toby, another great guy who done a lot for Olympia and a lot for the development of the club. Same thing, I remember that him and some of the girls at the time and even some of us, we used to go to schools and put flyers out and talk to teachers and head teachers about bringing the kids to the sport. And obviously over the years we've tried our best to do this. And yeah, I think if I spoke about chairmen throughout the years, I think a special mention is to go to all of them. They've done a brilliant job. So it's Marius who started the club and done his best to put the foundation of the club. And then obviously Toby took over. I'm not going to talk about the great periods. Yeah, I'm just going to mention the greatest. And obviously Toby took over. And then when Toby left, that was the great period when me and Jay tried to keep the boat afloat, so to speak. Jay, yeah, I don't know. Well, the club is still alive, so we haven't done that bad, but I don't think we've done brilliantly. And then luckily,
we were the best.
Luckily, Matilde and her husband Paul turned up and were willing to put the effort in, and obviously we are grateful to them as well. They left, and then Didi took over, and she done a brilliant job. And now one of the girls that used to play for Olympia, and she's an old player as well, Gosia, took over, and I'm sure she's gonna keep the legacy going and try and improve it even further.
Yeah, I'm very positive as well about the future. It looks great. I was worried that every time the chairman change, I'm worried about the situation, how will happen, and every time a great guy comes in. So let's not underestimate the god of handball. There is a club here, there is a will, and people work hard, and it will happen. But on this occasion, this very board here, I can see you guys are working so hard, and I'm very positive about the future, and the financial situation will improve greatly.
And I think the goal of Olympia, and not necessarily of Olympia, it's you're talking about all the clubs, is to try and rely less and less on players that used to play it in their own countries that are here to either work or study or and play the game, and just bring youth through. And we look at our second team that already has, I think, 3 or 4 players that came from the juniors team. And they actually play regularly, and they're becoming more and more involved with the second team, and I think that's great for them to come through, and in a couple of years, why not join the first team? And I think that's the future, and that's what we need to look at.
And what would you say to these kids that they are looking for a sport to
definitely
play?
I would recommend any children that watch us now, or any parents that they have children that know about handball or heard about handball and they want to try it. By all means, bring your kids to handball, because it's a great sport. It's a team sport. It develops the body. It also develops the mind. It's a team spirit as well. So I'm sure you can find details of when our juniors team train on our website, and I'm sure Carlos will put a few
in the
links.
comments of this link you will find some details about who you have to contact in case you want to join the team.
So yeah, definitely I will urge everyone, bring your kids to handball, because it's a great sport.
How do you follow the team nowadays after you stopped playing?
Actually, I tried not to, but he comes to me all the time. I've got this feed on Facebook, I've got Instagram, and it's all Olympia this, Olympia that, and he doesn't stop coming to me. So, but that's it's kind of a joke, but really the presence online has improved drastically.
Yeah, but remember how it used to be when...
Oh, it was amazing. We had a blue t-shirt with the name, and that was it. That was the only exposure. No internet, no email. It was not even an email address, not even a bank account when we started. Yeah, let alone a Facebook account. But it's there. We are there. We can be seen. And even I'm on holiday. I want to see how they get on. I don't even need to worry. I see the notification come through. So it's great. So that's one way of checking out how the team is doing. But not just the team and the scores, but we have a proper on the smartphone, we have the proper sort of feed about the players and what they're doing, where they are, each and every single one of them. So we have a good feeling about the team. We know what's happening, scores as well. And obviously I come to games as much as I can, and watch them. And I'm always welcome somehow. And so watch the game as when I can. I can't always because of work and kids and other commitments, but I watch as much as I can, after that we go inside. We go to eat somewhere together with the team, and it's always great to to
You
catch up
went
with the
to
team.
the Challenge Cup with the guys last time to Italy, didn't you?
Yeah, I know, because I have no friends, so I need to hang on to the team, But yeah, I was in Italy. That was
How was
amazing.
that?
That was amazing. That was again. It was actually not as score-wise. It was not as bad as it used to be when we played in Europe.
Was it better atmosphere than when you used to be a player?
Oh no, definitely not. Yeah. But you're always going to think the past is better, right?
Of course.
But I do
because you
believe
were part of it. That's why.
That's it. But actually, the present is the best of Olympia time. This is where they're achieving the best. Now the internet, the people that they have like partnership with, and so this is the best time of the club is actually ever had, I think. But what's the word? What's the word? Sentimentally wise, you think your time was better sometimes, but actually this is not.
Yeah, but if you remember, Jay, over the years we've always sort of tried to reach out as a club and make ourselves known, and obviously that started probably around 2010, 2011, just prior to the Olympics, where obviously because the Olympics were forming. I remember at the time we've actually played a couple of friendly games against Team GB as they were forming up as a team. Obviously, unfortunately, as an adult team, they only done the Olympics, and then for whatever reason, at the moment, I assume it's to do with funding. They only concentrate on juniors, and but yeah, we used to play friendlies against Team GB, and me personally, I was part of along with a couple of others from our team. We were part from a so-called super team of the club, of the league, that played against Team GB and so on. But talking about the part prior to the Olympics, we had a couple of journalists that came and joined our sport, because they at the time they were looking at handball as a new sport into the Olympics, as not to the Olympics, as a new sport to the British public sort of thing. So they wanted to try it out. So they actually came to a couple of our trainings, and I must say they've enjoyed it. So obviously that was put out in the press. Another bit of PR exercise that we've done. It was published a lot. It's just the fact about Olympia, the fact that Olympia as a team was the first ever handball team to actually walk onto the handball pitch at the Olympics. A couple of the guys and a couple of the girls. Yeah, Jay, you were there. Jay, weren't you? We've been invited to do the lightning test at the Copper Box Arena, which obviously hosted the handball game. So that was a great night. Obviously, we had to stand out and pretend the national anthem is singing, so they can check their sounds and stuff. There were photographers on the side taking photos and checking their cameras and their lights and that. And obviously, they've asked us for a bit of feedback in the end as to how the pitch feels. Is it soft? Is it hard? Is it too bouncy? So yeah, that was a great experience. Like Joe was saying, we always try and reach out to people, and obviously today for us as players, we have all these groups for each team, and we have the mixed group. Obviously the guys that look after the media part of the club do a great job, because we're always there on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook. We're always out there, and somehow there are articles about us in the local newspapers. Like I said earlier, there were articles about us, about a club abroad as well, either on TV or in the newspapers. The team is trying to reach out to small partnerships and make ourselves known as well. And we try and do fundraising as well. Like I think some of the girls organize like a backpacking stuff at ASDA, where of course we promote the club and we promote the family. So hopefully we're on the right path as regards to that.
And after the games, I'm sure you joined the team for
Yes,
celebrations.
of course. I mean, the purpose of the question was how do we follow it, and we just said it's basically we live in the internet era, so you find everything you need to know about the team over there, either through our club or even the England Handball Federation's website, where the results are there. But on a sort of personal level, of course, we try and go and watch as many games as possible. And then it's nice after the game to go and relax and you know, have a chat, discuss the game, and
And some sparkling water.
you know, with some sparkling water and a cup of tea, of course, and you know, because most
No-
of the
not too
games
much
are played,
sugar.
most of the games finish around 4 o'clock, so you know, you have a 5 o'clock tea after the game. So yeah, it's a great experience, and of course, it's a way to wind down and sometimes celebrate the wins, other times sort of
Drink your sorrow.
drink your sorrows and try and find out why you lost that game. But yeah, it's all done in great fun and in great spirit. And you know, we keep saying about a family, so we are a family on and off the pitch.
That's very important.
Yeah, and yeah, definitely. So for Olympia, you know, every game has 3 halves. And
Yeah.
what did you say about the third half, Jay?
We've lost many. We've lost many first and second, but never the third one.
That's it.
We're the champs.
So that is the Olympia spirit.
So Dragos just did a surprise. He's gonna join the team. But what about you? Do you ever think about coming back as a player
Yeah, I think about it every day.
every day? And what's the answer about that?
No chance.
No. Alright.
No
You
chance.
should do it, mate. You should do it.
No, as I said to you, I will play when there's another 60 team. Then I'll come back to the senior team.
60. All right.
That's it.
You should at least register.
Yeah.
Because
Just in case.
there's a reason why I've done it as well. Just in case these guys win the league, you know. I'll just be there for the photo as a medal, you know.
Just for the
If they
medal.
win, I have second and third, but
for the medal.
if they become
No, I wish you can win
I'll
the
just-
league. I
I'll
wish
do a
you
John Terry and I'll be there for the medal, you know.
But that would be nice. You deserved it for all your years with that success.
No, obviously, like I said to you, after our conversation, I just at the last game in Barking, I actually thought about it, and I thought, you know what, why not?
Why not?
I definitely miss it, so why not? You know what I mean? And
Until you can. While you can.
well, again, obviously, I haven't committed to anything, and I said, look, if I come and play for 5 minutes, that's more than enough for me. You know what I mean? So there's so many players now. It's not like back in the day where you know you had
more of a
you had to
opportunity.
make whatever effort, if you remember, to make it to the games, because there were 7, 8 of us at times. You know, now you look at how many players are there every game, and you look at we have the second team, and you know it's the players there, but they're always new players are welcome. And you know, again, like we said about the juniors, we urge everyone that loves handball, even though if they played it or they haven't played it, to come and try it out. And maybe they'll try it out for the first time. Maybe they'll remember how it used to be in the days. You know, the club is there and it's open to everyone, regardless of the level. So, even to
What about
people close to
coaching?
retirement, you know.
And what about coaching? Would you like to
Coaching,
coach
yeah.
the
But I don't want the
juniors?
team to start losing, yeah? So,
Don't be
if you
so
want to start
negative.
losing, let me do the coaching and we're going to lose properly.
If you look at football, Jay, you know the best managers today were pretty crap at playing. So
Maybe I have a chance then.
you never know.
Maybe
You
I
might
have a chance
there.
then.
So you
Maybe I
try.
should think about new career in management.
Careful.
No, but joke aside, no, I don't think that's for me. I think my place in the club is very simple, and I just support them, and that's it. Be part of the surrounding. That's quite good.
Yeah, but that's an important part as well, because you've seen it yourself and you know it yourself how nice it was when people are on the side cheering on you. Yeah. Then again, back then there weren't so many, but you look at today and how many of us gather in Leighton or in Barking and whatever, and what you've done obviously to travel with the boys and the girls.
That's true.
To Europe and that. We didn't used to have that. And today, and I know, and you talk to the guys after the game and they come to you and you say, oh, thank you for cheering me on, or thank you for saying that to me
it's
during
always
the game
appreciated.
and whatever. Of course, I think it's always appreciated. So don't underestimate the support a bit, because I think that's an important part of the family.
I agree with that.
Yeah. The name of Olympia, where is that name come from?
Well, from what I remember, obviously, like I said, the team was created in September 2005, and in the same year, around May or June time, London was named as the next host of the Olympic Games. So obviously, the name of Olympia has a connection to that. You know, that was from what I remember talking to Marius, that was the idea behind the name of Olympia. You know, to do with the Olympics coming to London, obviously to being handball not being such a popular sport here, and obviously the idea of it becoming more and more popular. So if I remember correctly, that's what that was the reason behind the name, and obviously when it comes to the crest, that happened before we went to. I think we've adopted this crest before we went to Montenegro, if I'm not wrong, Jay. And it happened at Toby's house.
That's
I remember it was me, you, Toby, and I think Moha was there, if I'm not wrong. And we were just doing the final preparations for the team. And Toby said, right, we need to have a proper, you know, like a proper sort of logo for the team. And he came up with a few offers. And obviously this the actual logo was there. So we said, right, that's it. We go for the
Roman sort of.
For the Roman, from the Roman fighter, we'll just put a ball in instead of a spear, and you know, it was done as a bit of you know, again, like most things are done with Olympia, as a bit of fun and games after a serious meeting. So that's how that came up, and I think the name it's strongly connected with the Olympic Games and the fact that obviously London was named as a host back then, and that's how it started. There's a rumor obviously going on that one of the guys that was part of the committee that started it, his girlfriend's name was Olympia, so you know, you always made a joke, I've named the team after my girlfriend, but no. I think the truth behind it is related to the Olympic Games.
Okay, good. Do you want to add any funny story at all?
Oh,
Apart
funny
from
stories.
That, yeah, funny story about the colors of the team.
Black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow.
Well, it all depends how long this interview you guys wanted to last for,
Just
because the amount of funny stories that we had over the years, and I'm sure Jay can talk until the morning about it.
Yeah, for sure.
One of the funniest, for example, if you have anything in mind.
Montenegro, the bar.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, I'll tell you a story. We arrived in Montenegro. The coach dropped us off down to the small village, and we had plenty of kids outside, and we're talking like you know, on the center city center sort of thing, and we bought them ice creams, and you know, a few kids ice creams, and the next day all the parents came and started singing Olympia songs because that made a big noise in the village, you know, in the town that we bought ice cream to the kids. So that was a nice funny story. And then we went to watch the local team as well play their games. And we were supporting them, and they also came to our game and then shouted for us. So we had like a big follow-up in Montenegro. Out of nowhere, we had more fans than the local team.
You didn't expect? So
We had no idea. We had no idea.
Okay.
No, but in all fairness, we've always been treated really well on our trips
Really?
away. I mean, remember Bucur in Croatia when they used to put the barbecue on, and that
turn the meat.
we were always the first team invited there, and everybody followed us because, like I said to you, we've tried to be as professional as we were, but we weren't as strict and as cold as the other teams who just came there to play handball. We always sort of interacted and socialized with the people there, and like Jay said, we bought ice cream for the kids, and you know, we always spoke to the locals, and you know, we always sort of made ourselves present there, if you know what I mean. So that's what I'm saying about Olympia and the family there. Obviously handball is the main focus, and we're all sportsmen, and we all do what we love, and we all want to achieve great goals, but at the end of the day we're human beings, you know what I mean, and we try and combine the two, you know, and make it as fun as possible on and off the pitch.
Good.
On and off the pitch.
Right. So that was my last question. Thank you, Dragos. Thank you,
It's been a
Jay.
pleasure,
Thank you, Carlos.
Merry Christmas.
Good luck for the season, you
Yeah.
two players.
And don't remember, guys, if you have any kids or if you like sports at all, don't forget you can come to our team and you will have a lot of fun, make a lot of friends, and enjoy in general. So don't follow the comments in this video, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thank you.